What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth, and as you can see, I am not in studio, and I am all alone. Studio is out of commission right now, and got a couple things going on in life right now, so episode is delayed for that reason. I'm sure you guys understand, but we're still going to do this. Got a couple things I want to talk about, but before we do that, quick reminder to play Steep and Portal Knights, both offered for free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back to the month for Plus Club. Let us know what you thought of those games. We'll let you know what we thought of those games, and our game of the month randomly picked is Stardew Valley, which is a Harvest Moon type game. I'm sure you've heard of it. Has multiplayer now. Make sure to play that as well. Come back to the month for game of the month. We're going to talk about that game also, and we have a Discord link down below. Make sure to click the link, talk to us anytime, all the time, and we are on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you'd prefer to listen to us. And if you're listening to us and you want to check us out on YouTube, check us out at Tasty Loot Gaming. We film every single episode, just like this one. Yeah, so just me. I'm going to go through a couple things that seemed interesting to talk about today, but before I do that, quick shout out to a topic I kind of wanted to talk about, but there's not enough information about it, and I don't want to be a person talking about stuff that's not 100% confirmed when it's something as serious as abuse at the workplace. There apparently is a guy, though, that worked at Square Enix who was abused by a fellow coworker who was female and lost his job over it. He right now is trying to get that word out. He has emails and all sorts of evidence of this, and Square Enix essentially got rid of him to silence the situation, and of course games journalism is not covering it because it does not fit their bias. A lot of people on YouTube are talking about it, which I think is good, and like I said, I don't really want to cover it only because I don't know everything about it, and it's kind of a touchy subject, but you should definitely check out some other YouTubers. One that a lot of people already know of is The Quartering. He's covered this. I'll put a link in the info box down below if you want to know the details of this, but I think it's important that we talk about shit like this. If we're talking about other things like this, it's important that we cover all sides of it, and if this guy was abused and sexually harassed by somebody and lost his job because of it, we should be spreading that shouldn't be happening to anybody. It's fucked up that would happen to anybody, and especially losing your livelihood for being victimized is awful for anybody. So check that video out, look into it for yourself. It's on Reddit and all sorts of shit. Like I said, games journalism is not covering it. They will not touch it. I guarantee it. So, yeah. Anyway, outside of that serious bit of news that's fucked up, let's get into the first bit of news. First bit of news, if you have played Red Dead Redemption 2, or you are thinking about playing it, this might be potential spoiler for you, I'm not sure, but you deal with Pinkertons. It's not a spoiler, it's in the trailers. Which is a detective agency that's essentially chasing around all the last remnants of the old Wild West and trying to get rid of them, to put it simply. Well, apparently the real Pinkertons in real life are not happy that their name was used in Red Dead Redemption 2 and are suing Rockstar. According to Engadget, the Pinkertons loom large as virtual adversaries in Red Dead Redemption 2, but now they're involved in a real legal tussle over the game. Pinkerton Consulting and Investigations has sent Rockstar Games a cease and desist notice claiming that Red Dead Redemption 2 used the company's trademarks, including the Pinkerton's National Detective Agency badge, without permission. It also alleges that the game will tarnish the reputation of the trademarks by portraying the 19th century detectives as foes, according to court documents obtained by The Blast. Pinkerton made clear that it wanted money in the request. It was happy to talk about lump sum figure to settle the case and was prepared to sue over trademark infringement and other violations if there wasn't a payout in the cards. Rockstar, however, isn't having any of it. The company sued Pinkerton in a federal court to block potential lawsuits under claims Red Dead Redemption 2 has First Amendment protection. The game is a historically accurate and accurate recreation of the 19th century frontier, the company argued, and that means acknowledging the presence of Pinkerton agents. Moreover, this isn't the first time the agency has appeared in popular culture. They've appeared in HBO's Deadwood and movies like American Outlaws and Long Riders, not to mention the other games. BioShock Infinite's protagonist is an ex-Pinkerton agent. I remember that. Pinkerton should have acted a long time ago if it wanted its name out of the limelight, according to Rockstar's reasoning. It's not clear how the ongoing case will shake out. Okay, well, yeah, that's all obvious. Yeah, so this is very interesting that that first off, the Pinkertons still exist. I had no idea. But that they also decided post release of this game to get some money out of it, but also could be argued protect their brand that nobody knows about. There's a couple things to this. First off, I think it's ridiculous. I think it is just a money grab. I think they see something big that's sold well and that they can get some money out of. I do understand any company protecting, their look. If they put Pepsi in Red Dead Redemption 2, obviously they wouldn't. They would get sued for that. So it makes complete sense, their logic and reasoning, but I don't think that's the reason they're actually doing it. I don't think a video game would hurt the way this company that has carried on that name for so long. I don't think that the video game would negatively impact their business in any way. I can't see that. So I do believe this is absolutely them going for a money grab. I also think Rockstar is a good case in saying that, other people have used this. It's part of history. It's impossible to own that bit of history, I guess. So if other people are using it, what case do they have to go against Rockstar as opposed to just everybody, which they haven't? It is kind of, even though you have that name legally, they're not calling your name out legally. Someone could have a, Smith, fucking, I don't know, company that makes chips. Another one called Smith something something. If you have Smith in it, one of those guys could maybe sue you over it. So they're really kind of going at each other over the word Pinkerton, and even if they are the same company that has existed since then or whatever, people have changed out over time, and I'm actually not sure how that works, but I don't see how you can take old school historic depictions of an actual agency when it existed and essentially trademark that. So that's not them. It's not their business back then. So it's a really interesting situation. I'm really curious to see how this rolls out, how it'll go, and I do think Rockstar, if anything, we'll just have to pay them something. But I don't think they're gonna have to, because I can't see a situation where they're in the right. Although I get their perspective in a sense. So yeah. Again, though, I think this is for a money grab. I think it's lame, and I think, they should have done this before, now. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this whole situation? Do you think they have a case? Do you think Rockstar has a case? Do you think they should have said something beforehand? Do you think they're in the right now? Do you think they're fucking idiots just trying to get some money? And let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to the actual Pinkertons. So weird. Suing Rockstar over Red Dead Redemption 2's use of Pinkertons in a historical accurate sense. Second bit of news. Kind of a point of contention on Twitter I've seen quite a bit, so we're going to dive into this a little bit. On Twitter, Ben Irving has said for the game Anthem, there is matchmaking for every activity in the game. Been seeing a lot of really angry people about that, so let's get into this. With BioWare's, this is via GameSpot, with BioWare's next big game, Anthem, almost here, the developer has shared even more details on what to expect from the game. Anthem is a multiplayer-focused title, and the good news for those who don't have anyone to play it with is that there's matchmaking support for every activity in the entire game. Lead producer Ben Irving said on Twitter, I already covered that part, we think it's more fun in a full group. So in reference to why they did it, makes sense. Here are some things that BioWare confirmed about Anthem recently. The game has underwater exploration. PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold are required for online play. Most of the game can be played solo, but not all of it. Beta progress does not carry over. A VIP demo for Anthem runs January 25th to 27th, so that's coming up very soon. We can all try it out. We can finally, get our opinions on this fucking game, because a lot of us are kind of like, we'll see. And, so the first part I'll talk about is the matchmaking. Now, I said a lot of people are arguing about this on Twitter, and I think some of the arguments are not well-founded. I do believe a lot of it is out of reaction for the distaste for EA most people have, so they'll take anything. But people are right to be suspicious or be worried about certain things in games like this. So a lot of people are kind of worried that this game is gonna prioritize multiplayer, so you're gonna need to do the matchmaking. That's why they emphasize it can be ran solo, even though I don't think it's really meant for that. I think that's just them going, hey, BioWare people, it's a solo game too. So yeah, a lot of people are upset that the game is leaning towards multiplayer more than single player. But if they are going to make this game a multiplayer game, I think it is in their benefit to have the matchmaking. Most multiplayer games do have matchmaking. It is a smart thing to do, as long as you don't have to do it, which I don't believe you do. Games like Destiny and Destiny 2 have matchmaking for certain things and not for certain things. And they also have their own reason for doing that, which I respect, but I don't think it's smart. They want people who are playing together to work together and have to organize together. They'll play better. The game is supposed to be very challenging at end game, so they want people who are playing together to be working together, and it's hard to do that with random groups. And I get that. I respect it, but for people who don't have a whole lot of people in their life socially, it is kind of hard to organize a group. And obviously you can go into forums and stuff like that, but it'd be nice if you can just do it in game. So if we're talking about this game as a multiplayer game, which it is a multiplayer game, I think it is important that they're doing matchmaking for every activity in the game. And they're saying that because of Destiny. Make no mistake, that's exactly why they're saying it. They want to go, hey, this is a loot and shoot game. We want you to know you can play this with people at all times, which is smart. For people who are worried that this is just them making a single player or non-single player game, you're kind of right, but I don't think them saying the matchmaking in the game is a bad thing. Some people are really making a big deal about it, and I have not been able to find a reason why, outside of people are just sick of EA and what they're doing. So, and I agree with that 100%. I think EA is awful. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. It's good. But if you are going into this game hoping to play it solo and don't want to play with other people, it doesn't really affect you, and you're not really getting a solo game. Even though they keep trying to advertise it to you, they did not make it with that thought process. They just don't want to lose you as a buyer. The things that they also mentioned that were interesting: the game has underwater exploration, which I thought we saw in one of the gameplay videos. I could have swore we saw him fly into the water. So, emphasizing maybe the exploration part, which is cool. So far what I've seen has been that fucking jungle. It's not exciting to me, so the idea of anything more is good. PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold required. Not a surprise. Would be nice if it wasn't required, but anyone should expect this. If you have a problem with it, you're in the right. You should be able to fucking play this regardless, but that's how things are. Most of the game can be played solo, but not all of it, which they've talked about already. It's pretty much like the raid type stuff. You're not going to be able to do solo, which makes complete sense. But I know that the single player is supposed to be, or not single player, the storyline is supposed to be soloable, and shit like that, as they say. So, and I believe they'll be able to do that. I think most games you can play solo when they're multiplayer based, but yeah, you're not going to get the full experience. You're not going to want to do a raid by yourself anyway. I mean, maybe you will, but they're built around the idea of playing with a group, so it's more fun that way. and beta progress does not carry over, which is expected. It's nothing new. So yeah, so let me know in the comments, what do you think about Anthem having matchmaking for all its activities in the game? Do you think this is good? Do you think it's bad? Do you think it's just expected? Like, yeah, of course it would. If you do think it's bad, let me know in the comments why. I want to know, you know, just let me know what the reasoning for that is, because I don't know. And maybe I can change my tune. What do you think about the underwater exploration, the expected use of Xbox Live Gold and PlayStation Plus? And what do you think about the most of the game can be soloed? Are you planning on playing this game solo? Are you not? What's your opinion on that in general? Let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Anthem and its matchmaking and its impending release. Last bit of news. Now, I'm sure a lot of you already know, in October, Blizzard announced Diablo Immortal. It was not met with good reception, and since then there has been a snowball effect of stock value lost in Blizzard Activision since then. While that's been building up, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse and worse, and Blizzard keeps making worse and worse decisions, and Activision keeps going, we're going to make like 3 games, and still pretend everything's fine, even though they make a shitload of money off those like 3 games. Bungie has decided to part with Activision, which I'm sure you already know this as well, and they are retaining the rights to Destiny, which is actually very interesting. Now, because they are taking the brand Destiny, they're going to develop it and publish it on their own, or maybe partner with someone else. It's theirs to do that with. Some people are kind of questioning, what does this mean for Destiny 2? It's not done yet. People are still playing it. There's still a roadmap planned for the content coming out for Destiny 2. Well, apparently everything is going to go exactly how it was planned already, and nothing will change. So let's get into the details of that via GameSpot. While there's a certain amount of unavoidable uncertainty when something atypical like the Bungie Activision split happens, Destiny 2 fans needn't worry, at least about the immediate future of the game. The company insists it isn't abandoning the plans it's already outlined for Destiny 2, which will see new content continue to be released in the months ahead. In quotes, today is a big news day for Bungie. Change is afoot for us, wrote Bungie's David Dagu. Our plans for Destiny are unchanged. All of these game updates are still on the calendar. The tweet included the image below that outlines Destiny 2's roadmap, new content between now and the end of August. This includes both free and paid editions, the latter of which will be available to those who have purchased Destiny 2's annual pass. Among other things, the game will add another new raid, exotics, seasonal events, and Gambit experience, and much more. Bungie's weekly blog this week at Bungie has been on hiatus recently due to the holidays. It was scheduled to resume today. This doesn't matter. Yeah, so to put that all together, Bungie is still going to support Destiny 2, even though they are no longer a part of Activision. And they're going to be doing everything they said they're going to do up until August, which is very, in my opinion, good of them. I think this is awesome, especially in light of the head director of Final Fantasy 15 and him leaving the company. After that, they canceled some of the extended DLC for some of the characters. We're getting the Arden DLC, luckily, because that's the one I really want to fucking play after playing that game. But it does really suck for people who, were told they're getting content, now they're not. It's a really shitty thing. I get if you can't make it, but it sucks when you have made the promise and discussed it, and then you go, we're not doing it. So this is in the opposite spectrum. Say what you want about Destiny 2, Bungie. I know a lot of people are actually getting kind of excited for Bungie again because they're not part of Activision, because obviously people have problems with Activision. They're a big company that does the same shit over and over again to make money. But with all this changing, it's awesome that Bungie is able to maintain their promise to the people who are playing this, moving into whatever they're doing next. We can expect a Destiny 3, obviously, but it's very cool to see that that nothing has changed for anybody. So fans of the series can expect the new content. It's very good to hear that, just because, nowadays we're so fucking used to hearing negative shit after negative shit after negative shit of what we're not getting, what half game we're getting, fucking what microtransactions we're going to be getting, and what's being canceled and stuff like that. So it's very good to get some fucking good news from somebody. So overall, though, in the whole thing, I think it's really good that Bungie got out of there. Not for any negative thing towards Blizzard, Activision. Just Bungie is a reputable company. It's been around forever. They're fucking legendary. They made Halo, and that they can work on their own and maintain all the things they've worked on is actually, it's fucking incredible that they are able to pull that off. And I know going into the Activision partnership, they were able to maintain a lot of creative control over their game. So obviously that is translated into this situation. So really excited for Bungie and their future. I'm curious to see if it will change the way they work on Destiny 3. A lot of people assume that it's going to be bigger and better, and they're going to change a bunch of stuff with it because Activision's not involved. I'm skeptical in that. I think we'll probably get a little less microtransactions, but that's about it. But as for Blizzard and Activision, Blizzard has a lot of problems internally. I read about it all the time. They got a lot of problems going on and a lot of bad decisions being made in interest of maintaining money that they were once very used to making, and now diverting their intentions towards the Chinese market, which obviously has different wants and needs than we do. So kind of making a lot of people who are longtime Blizzard fans feel alienated, especially the WoW community. I've been watching a couple of videos on that, and people are like writing out long ass letters to Blizzard letting them know how they've been fans for fucking ever, and now they feel betrayed. So that's a whole thing. Blizzard's really in trouble, and Activision is doing the typical corporate thing of pretending the ship's not sinking and everything's fine. I'd like to see them split off as well. I'd like to see Activision get challenged and have to fucking get creative again, because they haven't done it in like 15 years. And I'd like to see Blizzard go their own way, even though I don't think it helped them in their situation right now. But they gotta find what once made them so loved, the energy and the love for making games that are meant to just be played for the sake of fucking gameplay and storytelling, and not so focused on where the easy money is. As any corporation grows, it's going to get to a point where the amount of money they make is so insane that you have to start making certain decisions to maintain and grow that. You can't go back from that. So it becomes harder and harder to stay focused on, your artistic integrity when the business gets too big. It happens with all businesses when they get that big. They lose that sense of community and passion. It happens with everybody. So I'm not surprised to see with Blizzard. I just hope they can find their way, and I hope they split off with Activision, honestly. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you think about, first off, what we were talking about, Destiny 2 maintaining its promises through Bungie, not affiliated with Activision no longer. And do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Do you like Destiny? Do you not like Destiny, the whole series? Are you looking forward to what Bungie's going to do in the future? Are you looking forward to Destiny 3 or a new IP? What do you think about the Activision split with Bungie? What do you think about Activision and Blizzard together? What do you hope to see from this? Are you writing them off completely? Let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Bungie, Activision Blizzard, and the shitstorm that is happening in the AAA market. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook at Tasty Loot Gaming. Check out my streams on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Hit the notification button to know when I go live. Also, I dual stream, so if you want to watch my streams on here, you're in the right place. We have Discord link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. We are on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you prefer to listen to us. And if you're listening to us, check us out on YouTube at Tasty Loot Gaming. My name's Seth, guys. And, yeah, take it easy.